Hey guys, welcome to the Cold One with the Boys podcast. My name is Asen, and I'm here with my co-host Nathan.
What up?
This is episode 22, titled ASL. Today our guest, question mark. Today our guest is KiddSisco. He's an up-and-coming streamer on the Twitch platform. Gotta burp that out.
Oh,
and we talked to Kid about streaming during the day or night, the birth of the interwebs, and what else do we talk about? Some Yahoo chat rooms, and his kids. Kid has kids.
How Imagine
about
that.
So yeah, guys, sit back, relax, and open a cold one.
Yeah. I just wanna crack that door with that boys, yeah. No more baby mamas, no more kids to watch, cause I got babysitters. Now it's time for licking, come on, give it to me, cause it's my escape. Now it's time to annihilate, let my troubles all die away. I'm on a diet, Please do not try this, cause do not invite it. I'm dripping in go call the Midas. This night I was excited, it got me reignited. I've been waiting so long I can't fight it, but now I'm Mike Tyson inside, I'm on fire. It ain't nothing like a true bro, brotherhood worth more than a huge blow.
We're live, boys and girls. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're live, but we're not actually live.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No.
That's true. I'm so used to saying live and being live.
Yep.
Yeah. Why'd you have to make the countdown so dramatic?
I know. I was like, you made me nervous. I'll be honest with you.
I try to make it like this is the point of the episode where like I get my nervousness out, and so this helps me get all my fidgets out, like make it super serious, and then we can just go wherever.
So to like put the pressure on me, kind of thing, right?
Right? Yeah, it makes me feel better if you're nervous.
Oh gosh.
Well, you don't have to act like it's fucking NASA or something.
Dude, I'm going to work for NASA. Okay, calm down.
Why not go with Elon, man? Elon? No Elon love?
Yeah, I love
SpaceX. What is that called?
SpaceX. Oh, yeah, dude.
I don't know. He sent like a fucking Tesla into space. So
I don't know. I don't know what else is more baller than that. Like, what's the next step up between sending a Tesla vehicle into space? I think that's
wasn't he playing?
I think that's the new plateau.
Too?
Is that the new plateau?
Probably. I mean,
he's playing
Elon Musk. He was playing some song in the Tesla. I don't remember what it was though.
Oh crap! I didn't know that.
I thought there was an absence of sound in space.
That's I'm too dumb to know that, so I don't fucking know, dude.
I'm pulling stuff out of my ass, man. Like,
yeah, that might have been a straight out of the ass kind of answer right there. Fun fact.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know they've played like the Mars rover that's on obviously Mars. It played some song from the Black Eyed Peas, and that was like known as the first ever song ever played on Mars. And I was like, man, what a waste. Black Eyed Peas.
Hey, Black Eyed Peas.
I like the Black Eyed Peas, but like that's the song they play. Like that's the band they choose. Like
it was an interesting choice, I suppose, when you look at it like that.
Like Black Eyed Peas are good, but they're like pretty U.S. centric, right? They're not like global.
Yeah,
they are.
Maybe they are. I don't, dude. Once again, I'm too dumb to know. Don't ask me. I don't matter in this world. So,
well, tell me a little bit like about you guys. Like what? When did you start this? How did it begin? I'm really curious about that. Like to know just more about you in general. We haven't really got to talk very much since kind of deciding to go this route and doing something like this. And I'm just curious who you guys are and what your plan is with this and just how it happened. Like, where'd it come from?
Yeah, Nathan, you're on the spot, dude.
Oh man,
nervousness kicking in really hardcore right now, huh?
Yeah, he's turning the tables on you.
Like my hands are starting to shake. My feet are like clawing, like I'm sweating. So bear with me real quick.
Oh, you're good then.
No, me and Sid have known each other for God, how many years has it been? You were in 5th grade, right?
Yeah, like 11 years. No, more than that.
Oh, it's been way more than 11 years.
I don't want to
dude.
think about fifth grade. Gosh,
it's been a long time.
I'm thinking.
But actually, I don't think we've
years?
actually. Dude, it's got to be getting close because I'm almost fucking 30. Scared to think about that.
Yeah, I'm 31.
Do the dirty 30 here pretty soon. But I don't think we've actually told a story on air of how me and Sin met. But it's actually pretty funny. We were actually riding back because the house we grew up in, we lived actually 2 houses down from each other. And we were riding back from the neighborhood Walmart that was right next to our house. And we had actually been behind the Walmart throwing rocks at like the shipping bay doors, you know, getting the Walmart people to come out, and we would like hide in the pallets and shit like that and in the trees and stuff.
It's almost
You know,
like
just being
long-range
real-
doorbell ditching.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it was. We were, you know, just being the run-of-the-mill little douchebag kids. And we were coming back on our bicycles, and we passed by him. We started chit-chatting with him, and I'll never forget this. You know, I was not really sheltered, but I guess I could kind of say I was a sheltered kid. Grew up in church, religion, all that kind of stuff. And this was the first time I had ever met like a legitimate foreigner, somebody that wasn't American, you know, didn't talk like, you know, typical people that I'd ever met. I was in 5th, 6th grade, and stopped us in. We started chit-chatting with him, found out he lived down the street, and I asked him what his name was, and he was like, "My name is Asin." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "My name is Asin." And I was like, "What does that even mean?" I was like a sin from the Bible? And he's like, "No, my name is Asin." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me right now, but cool, we'll call you Asin." And that's how it all started, dude. We became best friends. And, you know, we probably went back to Walmart quite a few more times, threw rocks at the shipping bay doors, had the cops call on us a few times, but
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
now
don't know who you're talking about because, you know, I'm not your best friend, so I don't know who this is.
savage.
Savage.
But no,
This
other
was
than that, I mean,
actually-
the actual podcast itself, we've been doing now for 4 months. Did we hit 4? Yeah, we hit 4 months.
nice,
We're past
man.
4 months now.
4 months.
So that's it. But we're growing steadily. We're doing well. I really enjoy doing it. We've, I think, improved a lot. If you go to our first episodes, I think we've improved a ton.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I've seen
those
over
first
1,000
episodes were bad.
downloads, man.
Yeah.
What? Did you post that somewhere? I didn't know that till I just got home not too long ago.
No, I just looked when
Yeah.
I was looking
Oh,
at
you
the
looked.
podcast again, the
Well,
podcast
there you
page
go.
before I got in here. You know, just going
Yeah,
back over
that's
my
it.
stuff, you know, doing a little
Yeah.
doing
research
the
on my
research,
end,
man.
you know.
Yeah,
Well, that's really cool,
we did
man.
research on
I'm
you, too.
actually about to hit 10 months on the 29th of this month of streaming. So,
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean that's how long we've been doing it. You've been doing it for 10 months. Actually, I mean, funny how I kind of stumbled upon you.
yeah.
First of all, it was a referral from Mrs. Zaretta.
Yeah, I thought that was really
sent me
cool.
over and,
I thought that was cool.
yeah, she told me to check your channel out. I went over there.
I don't know what she was
And
thinking, mentioning
I
me, but
think-
I mean,
I think I caught you on a good night because you were
I guess.
trashed. You were drunk.
She
You
must have not caught me on that night. She would have probably referred me. She's like,
Yeah, I
no,
got
don't
in
go to
there.
that channel.
I got in there. I started talking. We started talking, and like we kind of clicked in the sense of like we were into the same shit. And you were like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot for you. And you like on stream, you take a shot of I don't even know what you were drinking, but I was like, damn, this dude's fucking chill. Hell yeah,
I had some Kraken. That's what I was drinking, man. Some
Kraken.
rum.
That's where it's at.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, rum's my favorite. But I don't drink very often. I don't really like drinking.
Man, I feel bad.
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean-
got back from the brewery before we started this.
Oh, I like a beer and everything, but
Yeah.
man, that night I just thought it was funny because I thought the next day when you, or I guess you sent me that message that night, didn't you, about doing a podcast?
Yeah.
And I checked it the next day and I was like, is this guy serious after what he just watched?
Dude, that's the
Oh my
best.
gosh, this is
Yeah.
the first time he went in here, and he's probably thinking this is gonna be a shit show.
That was just pure entertainment. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
you were
man.
playing Dark Souls, and not doing
Yeah,
well
and
at
it was
all.
kicking my ass.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And,
Playing
not
Dark
doing
Souls
well at
trashed,
all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was trashed in the game too.
So I mean, what I'm
fun
going to do,
times.
I'm going to bring up a few subjects we spoke about while you were drunk, and we'll see if you remember them.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, is this like a drunk test?
Yeah, dude, this is a drunk test.
Okay,
I'm actually from law
I feel like I need a
enforcement,
beer
so-
just to try to take this test.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, that sounds good. Let me
But
hear it.
I mean, we were talking a lot about early internet, in the late
Mhm.
90s, and we connected on Yahoo chat rooms.
Oh yes,
Oh my
that's
God.
actually where my that's originally where my name that I use on everything came from, was back in Yahoo chat rooms, dude.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, just for the listeners, how did you come up with the name?
Dude, it was like 6th grade, man. 6th grade. And my dad, we had 56K dial-up at the house.
Oh,
And
yes.
I met one of my best friends in life at that time, and he was always coming over to the house. And I don't even remember how we got into like the chat rooms. I don't really recall that, but I remember making the name. And I just remember seeing Jason Kidd. I watched basketball a lot. I was into sports, and I just remember seeing Jason Kidd and just thinking of his jersey, and I was like, man, Kidd, that's a cool, I like that. I like the way it looks. Like, that's going to be my name. And then my best friend, he chose Cisco. I don't even know what he got that from, to be honest with you. And we went in there as KiddSisco, and we put an underscore in between.
Mhm.
And so he was Kid, or I was Kid, he was Cisco, and we would talk to people like that. Like, hey, it's two of us, sitting there in the Yahoo chat rooms, just chatting it up. It's so crazy to think about that was the internet back then, because I feel like not a lot of people even know about that nowadays.
Yeah, it's true,
crazy.
man. It really is, and that's why I feel like it was a really good connection, because I'm a little younger than you. I'm like 3 years younger, 4 years.
Mhm.
But I remember that very vividly as well, because yes, I was still a gamer back then. I used to play like Call of Duty 1 and Age of Empires 2, like competitively
Oh, yeah.
online. But when I wasn't doing that, I mean, you can even ask Nathan, he remembers way back then, I would get into chat rooms. And
Yeah, they would be
I don't
trying
know
to
why.
back on girls in middle school.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh yes, you already
You
know.
don't even know.
Man, we had twin girlfriends,
Hell
from
yeah.
like some state up north.
Dude, we were
They
getting
had
catfished.
their name was
years
Megan and
ago.
Michelle. I was like, oh, we're just gonna call y'all Eminem. Y'all are gonna be our
Oh,
Eminems.
shit. That's fucking awesome, dude.
But yeah, dude, like back
We
in the
go to
days
school
of, like,
bragging like, yeah, I got this girl up, somewhere by New York. She's by New York. Yeah, she's gonna send me some pictures on my email next week.
Hell yeah.
my email with my that's exactly
that was
when like
back when email
webcams were
was-
coming out, and they were like the really
Yeah.
shitty ones where you could like
Oh man,
you could get a movement of some kind every like 5 seconds.
I remember when the Xbox 360 first came out, and it came out with the webcam,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
everybody was playing Uno. And I don't know if you got into that, but everybody was playing Uno, and every once in a while you get into a room where somebody had the webcam, and it was a little raunchy on their webcam.
Oh.
But it was like back in that time of webcams getting all popular and everybody wanting to video chat like crazy.
Yeah. So I mean,
Internet has
like,
so evolved.
you're absolutely right though. Nowadays you talk to like your typical Twitch streamer. I don't know the demographic of age, but I'm gonna guess the average is probably around 17 years old. There's probably a lot of
streamers?
young.
I wouldn't know.
Not
I
the
would
actual
probably
streamers,
say
the viewers.
Oh, viewers.
viewers. Yeah, that's probably. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
probably
I
about
do
right.
think there's probably some older ones, but
Oh, for sure.
probably 17 to 22 would probably be the average. That would be
Right,
my
and-
guess. I guess.
And you talk to some of those 17-year-olds, and they don't even know what ASL is. You know what I mean?
oh
like-
yes.
They don't know that.
Age,
They don't
sex,
know.
location, dude. Come on.
Yeah, they've never like fucking heard of dial-up. Like, just the idea of someone calling your house, like calling your mom at your house, and it disconnects you from everything on the internet. That's like unthinkable to these people.
Oh,
Like,
I know. It's like, Mom, I was just talking to an 18F from Cali. Come on.
18 up from Cali.
The funny
And
thing
I'm
is,
13.
See, it was
Mom.
always either. You notice it was always either Cali, Florida, or New York. Like they never was
Dude,
in
yeah.
any other state.
It's true.
Yeah, you never
they
found
were
someone
always
from
18.
Georgia.
It was always 18. It was
Yeah.
like the perfect age. It's like, man,
You know, though,
everybody's 18 on the internet.
A lot of those people actually were from California, though, because I know in the 90s and in the 2000s, California was like, they were the chat room kings in the sense that they had like phone chat rooms. I don't know if you ever remember those or ever went into one. I've only heard of them. I haven't even been into a phone chat room where you can literally call into a number and there's like 17 people on a line, like you're in a vent chat.
Whoa,
or something.
that's pretty crazy. Almost
Like on Discord.
I guess like meeting.
Yeah,
calls
kind of.
Nowadays,
It's
like
it's
conference
how people,
calls of sorts.
Yeah, it's how people met up back then. I guess it's like
That's crazy. I
dark
didn't even
age
know
Tinder.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the Yahoo chat rooms, that was just another way to kind of socialize, and that was, you know, when the world was kind of first realizing how connected you can be with someone across the world.
Exactly. The internet was just being like realized.
Yeah.
And we didn't even, the crazy part is we didn't even realize like anything of what it would turn into.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Think about how we communicate with people nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
it's instant. It's instant video nowadays.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
I mean,
It's
this
not only
podcast
voice,
wouldn't
text.
really be possible. I mean, if we were on 56K modems, you'd be getting some laggy ass
oh my gosh, it'd be
vocal chat
horrible.
right now.
Imagine the quality of the sound. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
good
like
sound
listening
can't
with your
come through
head dumped in
56K.
water. Like, what did we say? Like, man, it would probably age me by like 20, which wouldn't matter for looks, but at least my voice, I feel like, sounds a little.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy
But,
to think about.
For sure. Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of connected on that and kind of talking about that. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, man. But just like you know, I went into those chat rooms and I was like, you know, I was like 12, you know. if
Oh,
not
yeah,
younger. And, you know, you'd lie in there, of course. You're like, I'm 17.
Yeah.
Like, say some shit
I'll be
to,
18 like next month.
to act cooler. I think, you know what?
Trying to be super cool.
Now to think of it, I've always been told. Now I'm goofy, but in the sense of my age, I've always been told I act older than I am. And I think
I wish I got
comes
told
from
that.
chat
I got
rooms.
told completely opposite.
Act like a child.
I think it
that
comes
co-
from chat rooms too. What a coincidence. No, I'm joking.
No, I think it comes from chat rooms because when I was like 12, you know, I would lie online and tell people I was older, and in turn, I would try to act more mature. And,
That makes sense.
and
Yeah.
that kind of followed me. That's maybe that's it. I don't know. I have no idea.
That totally makes sense. I can get that.
Yeah. But yeah, I used to hit those up all the time. I didn't even like I mean I stopped like mid 2000s, but that's when I started gaming and getting on WoW, and that was my new social experiment.
Oh yeah, I started gaming like probably about a year after that, kind of discovering the internet, and then I got into gaming really hardcore, probably right around the N64 and all, kind of right around that area.
Yeah.
Back before you could console online gaming. Holy shit.
Yeah, but the first time I played, man, I remember the first time I played online. It was on the Xbox 360. It was Call of Duty 2.
Mm-hmm.
First time, and oh my gosh, it was like it was. I wish I could erase my memory and go back to that
Dude,
because
I
I
feel
just
you,
felt
man.
like it was so amazing. There was nothing like it. that I've ever
Back
played
before all the
before.
toxicity, like even though the toxicity was still there, like there wasn't the, you know, I guess probably because we were the 15-year-old kids in, you know, in there telling the older people to eat shit, but you know, it wasn't the little fuckers running around telling, I'm gonna fuck your mom, like I don't miss that shit, that's for sure.
Like, damn, I gotta call my mom and check on her after that comment. Shit. Mom? Hello? You all right? Yeah, Assface69 said he was gonna. Yeah, anyway. All right, I just wanted to check on you. Bye, Mom. All right, that's it. I'm going back to kill this little shit. You know, you're back in there. Jeez, talking to me like that, I gotta check up on my family.
Right?
You know, even nowadays though, even nowadays, I actually don't see much of that. Well, I do, but I think the only game now where I consistently get on there and hear little kids is CS:GO.
Really, really. I feel like devs have
all the
finally
time.
realized that they need to put stuff in place and this is to protect their property more than anything. I think a community can kill something so quick if you really think about it. And if you get people complaining about stuff like that happen to them or griefing in the game, and you're not doing anything to stop it as a dev, that's why. I mean, I think recently in the news, Conan Exiles had come out, and the devs are saying they don't have anything in place to like report players. I mean, that's gonna. I feel like that'll kill a community, especially in a video game. Who's gonna want to play crap like that? You know, when you have no control over it, and it's just community matters, man. Definitely does.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you know, on games like PUBG, you'll hear a kid every once in a while, but mostly it's like a bunch of like racist shit that you hear on there. But with CS:GO, for some reason, I always get in a group and it's like some 12-year-old like thinking he's hot shit, and he usually is better than me because I suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just
it sounds like me, dude.
Yeah, I'm not very good at video games. But I don't know. I think it's getting better. I think I mean, it's cool. I think it's cool for video games to have that vocal option. But I wouldn't really know how to fix it. I mean, reporting does work. I guess it hasn't worked for me. I don't know. I guess enough people have to report you for it to work.
I just think the only current solutions I feel like they really have is they either ban you or they'll put you in a pool with other toxic players, which that ain't really teaching them anything. No. It's just people being immature.
Making it worse.
Yeah. Just kind of feeding the troll. That's all you're just surrounding them with more trolls.
Yeah.
Doesn't really fix the problem.
And then they go to a new game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the biggest troll ever.
Yeah. Restart.
Awesome, man. So I've been on your stream a few times, like I said earlier, and I haven't actually yet seen you play the same game twice. So you're obviously a variety streamer.
Yes.
So I've seen you play like what we were playing yesterday, Nuclear Throne, something like that.
Yes. I promise I beat games. I promise, guys. I promise.
You were playing Dark Souls 3 whenever you were drunk that night, and then I've seen you play Minecraft and a few other things. But so, like, what do you typically like to play, or do you usually play all the way through games? Do you kind of take weeks off and then come back to them? How do you actually go through that?
Well, when I originally started, I started last year, and it was just streaming like all day. Like I just started with one schedule, and at first it was kind of weird. Like I was trying to find what game would bring an audience, you know. So I was just jumping around from game to game, and then probably right around the first of this year, I started to get a structure in place as far as schedule goes. So I originally had each day be a certain topic, which I would treat it like with hashtags, right? That's like what I started at the very first this year. And I started like I was getting in the mindset of my kids about to be out for summer. And I realized that my schedule wasn't going to fit for the summertime with the kids. Cause I co-parent with their mom. So I get them, off and on same time as her every other week. And so I was like, man, I was talking with my girlfriend, just discussing stuff with her. And we were trying to devise some kind of plan, some kind of schedule that would work. So what I have currently is I stream Monday through Friday, a daytime stream and a nighttime stream. And I took the schedule that I was originally doing and I put it on the day stream. So like Mondays are viewer's choice, which I used to put out a poll, but Breath of the Wild was winning so much and I didn't really want to step away from that game and ruin the flow of beating the game. So I went ahead and kept it. And then like Tuesdays, I was playing games that people gifted to me. And so I'm currently playing, I guess, Twilight Princess right now, Zelda, because it was sent to me in the mail from one of the viewers, Star, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah. And then Wednesdays, I have Song Request Day, which is, all day song requests. People can come in and request music. Thursdays is kind of just an up in the air day at the current moment. But this was kind of the theme going, and then Friday being a follower Friday. And then with the night stream, I'm just currently doing 2 games. So it was like you said, Dark Souls you've seen. And then I just started up New Vegas because I'm in a hype mode for Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah.
So that's currently how the schedule is I have a day stream and then a night stream. And then on weekends, I'll just pick a time and just go live because weekends are a little bit more harder to schedule around with all the stuff that happens. Because I feel like I stream so much. I don't have too much time until the weekends to really get stuff done.
Yeah, it's like a full-time job.
It works. I definitely went in with both feet, jumped in with the way everything started and how I started streaming. It's a crazy story, I feel like, in and of itself. But that my schedule is set like that. I know that was kind of long-winded, but
no, dude, that's
probably the best way I could explain it.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. I mean, doing a day stream and a night stream, that's really good for a new stream to get things going, and I mean you've done fairly well from what I've seen. I really like your when someone comes into your stream, you're like, if you want to know more about me or my Twitter, you can check the channel's panels, and I just thought that was a really cool little rhyme.
Yeah. I was actually writing up the rules for the chat when you click on the chat for the first time and it pops up the rules for a streamer, in their chat.
Yeah.
And I was writing on there something about if you want to know more information about the channel, check the channel's panels because they're called panels like through Twitch. I was like, wait, that's kind of clever. I like channel's panels. And then someday I just started using that when people followed and it just kind of kept caught on. And now it's almost like a meme of the channel of sorts.
Oh, yeah.
People are always typing channel panels. It's just funny.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, every time I've been in there, it's, your community's talking. I mean, 10 months in, like I said, you're doing really good. And especially you doing like the morning and night. Like, I mean, I've never caught a morning stream yet, so I'm not sure how that goes. Maybe in the morning you're like the best, and then at night you're like not good.
Not the best. The suckiest.
So like,
sorry, man, you caught me at my bad time. Come in the morning, bro, and I promise it'll be a complete different experience.
Yeah, like maybe what I saw and what I'm complimenting is like your bad side. In the morning, it's like the tits. I don't know about it. So
I honestly feel like the morning is a little bit more like business oriented. I feel like just because it carries over the same schedule that I had originally, and so my morning stream, like when I got a developer or publisher contact me. I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, and they wanted me to do a game that was coming to Switch for them. Just stream it on release day and stream it. I got release to stream it, I think 5 days prior to release. And so I was playing that, and I kind of did it like on the day stream. Like that was kind of where I advertised, but I carried it into the night stream as well. But I just feel like the day stream it's a different beast because night for me, I feel like that's when more adults are maybe watching the channel, so I can kind of loosen up the way I speak. And morning streams, I try not to. I mean, sometimes I do, but I try not to cuss. I promise.
Right.
But it's just a different atmosphere both times. I feel like, but I purposely think I want to keep it that way, and just because it creates different atmospheres. People like that, I think.
Yeah, it's
hopefully.
A nice little separation from day to night. But I mean, I haven't been able to catch a morning stream just because, like you said, I'm at work, Monday through Friday, so I can't catch it.
Dude, I totally understand.
Yeah, you're absolutely right that I'm sure there's more adults online in the evening for your evening stream. So, well, that's awesome. You're kind of getting more people that way just because two different communities that are kind of watching you.
Yeah, it's like it's hitting different demographics.
Right.
It's like yeah, it's really nice.
It's one of those things me and Asen have actually talked about is, trying not to cuss as much as possible on the podcast. And,
fuck you, dude.
I can't. I just can't. Like it. I feel terrible because it's part of my vocabulary. I've worked in shops for the last. Geez, I don't even know how many. Probably 8 to 10 years. I've been in a shop atmosphere. And that's all we talk about. It's the rude, crude humor.
Oh yeah,
language.
oh yeah. I came from the like oil field, like manufacturing. So yeah, I totally understand.
Every word is a cuss word.
Exactly, exactly. Or the F word.
Yeah,
throw F words around like crazy.
Yeah, well, and so
sorry, go ahead.
This is the thing is we try we don't want to push any kind of audience away because we cuss, but at this point I'm like, look, man, it's gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like if it turns you away, I apologize, but I can't stop myself from doing it. Just have it. I mean,
that's why we have the mature sticker on the on our podcast.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I've been personally cussing since I was like 8. So
oh yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, so I mean, I imagine that a lot of 8-year-olds are also cussing, maybe not in front of their parents. I'm not saying 8-year-olds listen to this podcast, but I'm just
8-year-old army is starting.
But I think language in general, like any kind of language you use, is all about decorum, meaning that it's all in good fun as long as everyone's cool with it.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, you feel out the room. If I go to a business meeting and everyone's like in suits and it's like really business oriented, I'm not going to say any cuss words, and my mind just kind of adjusts to that.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'll be the first one to drop the F-bomb in that thing. Like, what up, fuckos?
Security, get this man out of this building. Hell, who let him in here?
Dude, I can't stand those super serious, like you walk into it and, everybody's eyes just shift up and look at you, you're like, fuck. Like, I can't stand that kind of pressure.
That, but I think you have that as well, Nathan. Like, I'm not talking about necessarily a business meeting, but like if you walk into my parents' house, for example, I can tell the difference in your language. You're just like a much more like nice.
I try to be more respectful. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's just decorum. You kind of feel out the room first. Like, I'm not going to walk into a room of people I don't know and just be like, hey, fuck all of you guys. 'Cause like, they don't know I'm kidding. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know.
Getting beat up in the back room. You're like, no, seriously, guys, I was kidding.
I think that's what's most important. And with just for like a past streamer we've had on the podcast, shout out to Sir Scrowlix. Scrowl, his stream, he's like, basically his stream is very dude bro in the sense of like, you walk in there and you feel like you just walked into like a frat party. There's like EDM music going on. He's like really active in like what he does when people follow. He's just like, his arms are up, he's dancing, shit like that.
That's what's up.
So with that said, like, that's what people can expect going in there. You know what I mean? So like, it's all about certain people's channels and kind of the decorum or the community you build around it. But I don't think cursing in general is bad. It's just you have to build a community around that.
Yeah. I think it also depends on what kind of message you're delivering too. I mean, if you're delivering a message that's
the word
more
of the good
positive Lord. And you're using that language compared to a very negative message, I mean, people are going to definitely look at that different. A lot of it, I think people read more into the message than what people believe.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've like, not to chase down a rabbit hole of cussing, but like, man, I've seen some of the videos coming across YouTube of like little 10, 11-year-old kids like out in like public cussing out older people. I'm just like, dude, like, where are your parents? My parents would like backhanded me into the ground if I said something like that when I was that age.
Yeah, I am a dad. Trust me. My kid, let me catch my kid talk like that. Oh, man.
I don't get it, dude.
They come up to me. It's so funny. My kids come up to me like if one of them says butt, they'll run in here and be like, Daddy, Bubba said butt. He said butt. He said a bad word. I'm like, you're saying it right now. And then she looks at me all like, oh gosh. I'm like, okay. It's so funny. Like they think the silliest words are like cuss words. I'm like, yeah, you just keep thinking that, sweetie. Don't say those words.
Yeah.
Let's not say any bad words. It's
There you
so
go.
funny. Like the kids are just hilarious. They're so funny.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2. I have a daughter who's 5 and a son who is 4.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You got the best of both worlds, dude.
I know.
A girl and a boy.
I was sitting there like, God, you blessed me. Like I don't even have to try anymore. Thank God.
There you go.
No more
I'm
kiddos.
too scared to start trying, man.
No more kiddos.
Me and my wife have been married for almost 6 years, and luckily,
Congrats,
I don't
man.
want to say luckily that we haven't had kids yet because I feel bad.
I thought you were
like,
going to say, luckily we were married for 6 years. I was
hey.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Like we haven't had kids yet, and like I don't know, like I'm to that point in my life where it's like, you know, I've lived for 27 years, not had any kids. Like I don't know if I want to cross that bridge now of maybe thinking about trying to have. Like I enjoy what I do. I like my free time.
Mhm.
Like to wake up, go to work, you know, go to the gym, maybe have a few beers, come home, you know, either game or do the podcast. And I feel like if I have kids, it's not going to happen anymore. So
I think you reevaluate your life for sure with kids,
right.
But you quickly realize that you are now responsible for another human being in a way that's completely different than anything you've ever stepped into before.
Mhm.
And I don't think it necessarily takes away from all those things you mentioned, but you do have to find workarounds if you want to continue doing those things and still fulfill the responsibilities that you have for yourself as being a father. And that's totally possible. Like, I feel like a lot of people probably think it's not, but you could totally, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing those things and still being a father, you know, like people need to realize you have to have time as, you know, for yourself as a parent away from your children, you know, maybe doing something like go to the gym or something like that.
Right.
You know, it's healthy. It's a healthy thing, I think.
I think Nathan just looks too much to his older brother because his older brother has 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he looks at him too much on what life is like because, you know, like he's not able to game with us as much anymore and he's not able to hang out as much. And like you just see his time being kind of ripped away by his family, which is needed, of course, to raise a family. But like you can still do all the things like you just like Kid said, you just have to reevaluate your time and kind of make it fit better. I mean, yeah, you'll have a little bit less free time, but I would say
just want me to have kids.
no, dude. Like you can have kids, or you don't have to have kids, whatever. But I'm just saying, like you shouldn't fear having kids because
dude, I'm scared shitless of having kids.
Well, I know
I'm just not responsible enough to take care of myself. Like I feel terrible having to try and take care of a child.
I think it matters too, like what you're happy about. Like you said, your is it your older brother? You said, like,
yeah,
what if that's what makes him happy though? You know, like
it is. That's what I mean. I've talked to him about it, and he's like, dude, he's like, you know, I was kind of scared the same way you were, but he's like, my 2 kids are my world. He's like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. He's like, I would never go back to, you know, what I was doing since I had my kids. But I'm just like, man, I can't take that step.
It's difficult. I'm telling you, it's difficult to think of it right now because you're not a father. But I'm telling you, as a father, I totally understand his words. Like I couldn't have, I wouldn't want to go back to being like kidless, single guy, party animal back in the day. Yeah, that I'm perfectly content with who I am, and I couldn't imagine not having my kids in my life. Like that would be. I don't want to imagine that, you know, like that's
right.
It's crazy. It's a weird, it's hard to explain. I feel like it's just hard to explain. It's something you have to experience. And I think, you know, probably most parents, I'm not going to say all, cause I'm sure there's situations out there, but I'm sure most parents experience that when they become parents. It's just like, man, this is just awesome. Cause you're holding somebody in your arms that you probably
created.
Yeah, you created, but you didn't realize how much you could love something until you hold your child in your arms. I'm telling you, man, it's a different feeling. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids either, but I plan to, and I don't know. I definitely think it's something to look into, and for sure, in our age, I think it's definitely better to do it sooner rather than later. In the sense that, like, I don't want to have a kid when I'm like 38.
Right.
Shoot, I'm 31 and I'm already breaking down. I'm like, babies, y'all gonna have to wheel daddy around here.
What I'm saying is, like, by the time,
help me up.
if you're 38, by the time they're like 20, you're gonna be in your late 50s. Like, that's,
You're retiring.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna
close
be
to
like
retiring.
40 when my daughter's turning like 15. It's crazy, and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's actually pretty normal though. That's pretty. I mean, yeah. Well, okay. My parents were older. Like, my mom had me when she was 34. So my parents are older. But I mean, I think it's pretty normal to have them around your age, where they're 15 when you're about 40. That sounds right. But yeah, man. So another thing I've noticed when I was in the stream when you were drunk that one night.
oh, I like how you had to point that out.
That you're
By the way,
from Oklahoma, and I don't live in Oklahoma now, but I'm from there, and I do plan to move back at some point soon. But
nice.
You're from Oklahoma, and that's where we're from as well. And I have to ask, firstly, are you an OU or OSU fan?
Oh, here we go. This could make or break the episode, dude.
Moment of truth right here.
I am an OSU fan.
Man, I can't really say that anymore because growing up, I was always hardcore OU fan. And I think it's because I hopped on the bandwagon back in, I think it was 2000 when they went.
What bandwagon? They never won anything.
OU?
They choked every time they got to the national championship. No,
in 2000.
I won't bring that up. I won't bring that up.
In 2000, they went undefeated, and they won the state champion, or they won.
True.
They
That's
won
true.
nationals, didn't they?
I think in 2000. I can't really remember.
I think that was their last glory year. Was in 2000. They had an undefeated season, and they won the national championship. But in the OU-OSU fight, I don't think OU has lost a Bedlam in a long time. But I could be wrong.
I think you are wrong. I think OSU
Football-wise,
won
I think
a few
they're
years.
on a roll, for a couple years.
No, I don't think OSU has won Bedlam football in a long time.
Has it
Well,
been
I don't know.
Bedlam?
I can't say a long time.
I haven't watched college football in so long. It's crazy.
Yeah. For me, I like Oklahoma. Like, I don't really go one way or the other. I cheer for both of them. Now, during Bedlam, even then, I don't choose a side. I just enjoy the game, I guess, if I watch it.
I mean, I'm kind of liking that OU got rid of Bob Stoops, or Bob Stoops stepped down for football. It's about time. To be honest with you, I mean, I feel like he was. I'm not saying he's a bad person or a bad coach, whatever. I just don't think he was the right fit for them. He couldn't ever take them over the top.
Right.
And I was growing up around the time they were all popular in school, and I was like, well, man, I don't want to go with the popular people. Plus, when I grew up and I've gone to both campuses, man, I had so much more fun at OSU than I did OU.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the exact same thing for me. Like, I've been to a few OU games, and I've been to a couple OSU games, and whenever I went to Stillwater, like, the environment and the people, it was so much more fun at an OSU game than ever was in an OU game.
I totally agree.
Like, the stadium at OU is so big, there's just too many fucking people, and the OSU, it's kind of like a tight-knit family. Like, I can't really say I'm a fan, like a big fan of either team. Like, I was just on the bandwagon. But when I was at OSU, like, I was doing all, like, the hand signs for the first downs with the crowd. And I was, like, doing all the voice stuff. Like, it just felt like you belonged there. And at OU, you were just another person.
I feel you there.
I mean, I think I agree there. I do like Stillwater as a college town more than Norman as a college town. Both of my brothers went to OU. One of my brothers went to both. So I've visited both of them, and I've been to both campuses, and I think I do like OSU's. I like Stillwater more. But as far as sports, I don't really pay attention that much to college anymore. But I do pay attention to the Thunder. In the NBA.
Oh
Are you
yeah.
a Thunder fan?
Oh yeah, dude. Basketball is probably my favorite sport. It used to be football when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I've fallen in love with basketball. I don't watch sports probably as much as I used to, not near as much as what I
Yeah,
used
me
to.
neither.
In fact, I hardly watch it ever anymore. But I've gone to a couple Thunder games this year. Russell Westbrook was always my favorite, even when Katie was there. So I was glad. I was really glad to see him stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, hardcore Thunder fan. And man, that stadium gets so loud when you're in it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, I've never been, but I've passed by their stadium.
It's so loud.
Is it?
Yes. They don't call
I've
it,
never been
They don't
to-
call us Loud City for nothing, man. It's loud in there. It gets loud.
Yeah, I have heard it's like as far as basketball goes, I think I read something that it's like the loudest arena in the NBA.
Yeah, I know it was a couple of years ago. Just like they actually, I'm pretty sure rated them, and it was.
Yeah, I know for football, like the number one stadium is the Kansas City Chiefs. Apparently, it's like really fucking loud there.
Oh wow, really?
Chiefs
Yeah.
fans go wild, dude. It's like the new
I
Pittsburgh
don't even know if
Steelers.
it's the fans or if it's just the acoustics of the stadium. You know what I mean?
Like the way it was built.
probably both.
yeah, the way it was built.
That's pretty
'cause,
smart
I mean,
to do
you know,
that. If that's
It is. It is. Like right now, I live in Seattle, and I've gone to a few Sounders games because I'm a soccer fan.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about soccer.
Yeah, well, I do.
Hey, World Cup's going on right now, right?
Yeah, what the hell, dude? Get out of here. You're gonna make our ratings go down. No, I'm just kidding. But no, like the Seattle stadium, it's pretty nice as far as acoustics go. But like, I can definitely tell there's others that are going to be louder, even if we're called the Sounders. And the fans are very loud. But what I'm
Is
saying
it
is,
a
like,
dome or open?
it's open on the sides. I think it can be a dome. It's just they haven't closed it when I've
Right.
been there. But that's probably why. You know, that's when you actually hear the full scope of the stadium is when it's closed.
Mm.
I feel like soccer fans go crazy. Like they have
Especially
to, they
Sounders
have to
fans,
be
like-
loud.
Yeah, as far as the U.S., I know the U.S. isn't big on soccer, but like Seattle Sounders fans are pretty much European soccer fans. Like they are really loud. They really get
Do they
into
have-
it.
They have a hooligan group up there.
Oh hell yeah, dude! They
Do
bring
they?
like drums and like fucking garbage can tops, and like, they
What?
just make a bunch of noise.
Oh my
Dude, it's
gosh, now that's
ridiculous.
crazy. Holy crap.
Yeah. There's like a whole section that just goes insane during the game.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, like even though I know, you know, MLS, you know, Major League Soccer teams don't compare to European teams as far as how good they are.
Mhm.
I still really enjoyed going to those games. It was just a really cool environment. So it was fun. But yeah, I have heard that as far as the NBA goes, that the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC is one of the loudest.
It is. I went to 2 games this year, and man, both of them, it was crazy loud.
I don't
So
know.
what-
Like, I was just gonna say that, like he was saying, he doesn't watch sports much more, you know, as we get older, and I feel like that's exactly what I'm becoming. Like, as I'm getting older, I could care less about sports, probably because I've gotten more into, you know, esports and gaming and things like that. Like, I'd rather sit down and, you know, watch a tournament on Overwatch or something than I would
Mhm.
watch, you know, professional sports. But I guess that's just the nerd in me coming out.
Oh, I believe that sooner or later, probably in the next several years, that will be what's put on TV. That's what people will be
Yeah.
watching. Esports is going to be a sport just up there with NBA. We're going to have household names of gamers. You watch, man. It's going to happen.
I mean, it's
I'm
already
excited.
kind of like that.
It's already,
Like,
it's already getting
with-
pretty crazy right now, and I feel like it hasn't even started.
Yeah, I mean, you have these huge esports organizations that are kind of across all games, like you know, Cloud9, TSM, FaZe. You know, you see all these esports organizations that have a team for every single game out there, and now leagues like the Overwatch League are coming up, where Los Angeles has their actual own team, esports team for Overwatch.
Yeah.
And they have their players. They're backed by like huge CEOs and celebrities. Like I don't remember which team it was. I think it was LA or maybe the Las Vegas team. But like Soda Poppin and Shaq own a part of that team. Like they actually put money into it.
What? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Nicki Minaj has like some fucking, I don't know if it was Nicki Minaj. It was one of the pop stars, has like money in an esports team. So it's getting
cool.
there, man. Yeah, eventually it'll blow up.
Oh yes, I totally agree. They got to figure out how they schedule it, because I think the biggest problem with esports is like it's not like a season kind of like NBA or NFL. Right. It's just it's these quick tournaments, and I feel like once they understand how to implement a season, and you have a season for Overwatch, or you have a season for CSGO or PUBG or Fortnite, that's when it'll start getting interesting, I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thinking of it just like in soccer terms, the game Rocket League is pretty much soccer with cars. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, man, take all these teams from North America that are playing in esports for Rocket League, put them all in like a league, put them all on a score table, and score it the same way as soccer, where a win's like 3 points, tie is 1 point, and loss is 0. And just put them in a table like that and have them play like on Saturday every weekend against a new opponent, and just kind of have a whole season. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to start seeing. Like you said, an Overwatch League is doing that in a way. They do have certain days where they're playing, but I don't think they have any kind of like, I don't know, bracket system or a table that you can look at. They probably do.
They probably do.
But like it's not public enough to where everyone's on board yet. And maybe it just takes the right game coming into the scene to do that.
I think it does, because you got to think some of these games are over 20 minutes or so, probably even faster than that if the team is really good and just happens to catch the upper hand or luck on their side or whatever. So comparing that to like a 3-hour basketball game, right, or like That's a 4-hour baseball game or something like that, it's totally different. So I think probably part of it is the game, that probably plays a factor. But I think, kind of like you said, if they took these short time games like Rocket League, I mean, what are they, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe
5
matches
minutes per game, per match?
Yeah. If they did something like that, and then on the larger scale, that counted as points depending on how many matches you won in a round, I think you probably stretch it out to where it would be a longer broadcast of sorts.
Rocket League does have a league, like I'm saying, except it's just there's only like 8 teams. So it's not like huge, but they already do have something like that where they'll play every Saturday and Sunday, and basically they have their opponent and they play a total of 5 games against them as best out of 5. And that alone takes at least 25 minutes to get through them,
Right.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
Accounting for the broadcasters in between that are commentating on the game, analysis, replays on goals, things like that. I mean, you got a good hour just in one game right there. Meaning like one best 3 out of 5 game between 2 teams. So like, they basically need to start implementing more stuff like that. And I do see it coming. It's just right now the most popular games are Battle Royale, and they still haven't figured out a good way to make that into an esport yet, because it's
I agree.
too random on what kind of gear you get and stuff.
Yeah.
And even the best player can be beaten easily if they don't get the right stuff in the beginning. So
and those are that's the popular genre right now.
Sadly.
I
don't know. Like we started our midweek mashup this week where we talk about gaming news and stuff like that. And we went over our top 5 E3 picks.
Okay.
And we started talking about Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty 4 or Black Ops 4 is going to be releasing their battle royale modes. And this is either going to be the make or break for battle royale games. Like I feel like Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty have BR in their hands, and either A, they're going to step up to the plate, knock it out of the park, and it's going to force all the other battle royales to either catch up or, start over with a new game to continue on, or Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty is going to flop, and it's going to continue staying the same it is with Fortnite and PUBG.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they do it right, and it's fluid and crisp, and it puts PUBG and Fortnite to shame, because personally I don't technically care for the games anymore. Like it's too monotonous, and I'm ready for them to do something really great with it. But
this would be the first time that a big franchise takes over the role and steps into the genre. And I mean, to be honest, they have all the backlog of just the amazing movement that are in those games.
Yep.
I think when Call of Duty announced it, it kind of shocked me, because I feel like Call of Duty has one of the most fluid first-person experiences, like just running through the level, period.
Right.
In multiplayer, not even, and it has pretty tight control. Like, I hate playing Call of Duty now, but the control every time I've played it has been pretty tight and nice. It's not like it's control sluggish or anything. To see that in the battle royale genre, I'm interested, man. Can you imagine? That's got to be wild. And
it's
then
gonna be a lot of fun,
Battlefield with the destruction and stuff that they could probably implement.
Yeah,
that would be intense.
I think Battlefield 5 has the best platform to make the best game, because of they've always had really large maps. They are experienced with having a ton of people on one map.
Mm-hmm.
They have the fully destructible environment. That's the word I was looking for. Fully destructible environment. They have the vehicles. They have everything already for a BR game. They just need to make the actual mode. So I think they have the best chance of making something great. So I think Battlefield 5's BR is going to be superior to COD, but I could be wrong.
And Fortnite already has the blueprint out on how to do it.
Right.
I mean, look how successful. All you have to do is just literally copy the style of the battle royale that they have, and just throw it into your movement system, your world that Fortnite does pretty good as far as
the reason I think Fortnite. It's really popular right now, but I think that the reason that battle royale is not a great esport right now is, like I said, because it's too random.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what they need to do with these new BRs that are coming out, like Battlefield has a great setup for it, because not only are they experienced with the maps and everything, but they also have their classes. So, you have like your assault class, your medic class, scout, so on. So I think what the thing that's going to make BR competitive to where it's not so random is they're gonna have to let you pick your class ahead of time, let you pick your gun, basically what you're best with, and then all that you're gonna find on the actual map is you're gonna find little things like med packs and things like that, but not the actual weapons. You're actually gonna go into the match with the weapon you already want. I think that's
interesting.
I think that's gonna be the way it needs to happen for it to be an esport and be competitive.
Yeah.
Realm Royale is almost already there, and they kind of have it.
They have the classes
similar to that. Yeah.
They have
that
the
looks like a
classes,
pretty fun game. I haven't got to play it yet, but it looks fun.
Yeah. I've been watching it on Twitch. Several people have been playing it, but they have that class system, and I think that's a good step towards making it a better esport. It's a little less RNG.
Makes sense. It totally does.
But we've already hit an hour here, so we're gonna burn through that. So we're gonna move into our random thought of the day segment to close out the show. And this has a little more to do with what we were talking about towards the beginning of the podcast. But so in your personal opinion, do you think variety streaming, like what you do you think variety streaming is superior to streaming just one game, in your opinion?
Oh man, I would say, I feel like that it really depends, because if you're coming from an esport kind of like how you've seen Shroud and Ninja, Summit, all them, where they were just playing one specific game. They already have the title. You know, they're already known. And so when they step into these games and they just play them for long periods of time, I feel like it benefits them in that regard.
Right.
Like the other day, I for instance, I caught a Ninja stream and he was playing Realm Royale, and then he looked at a post that he made about the game, and everybody was, you know, telling him, "Oh, go back to Fortnite," leaving all these hateful comments. And to be honest, I felt honestly like in that moment, like watching the stream, I felt bad for him because there's going to be a day where he has to step away from Fortnite. It's not going to, you know, and he's probably not going to get everything that he currently has. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on I'm sure that if he hops on the next hot game or whatever. But it kind of sucks in that regard. So I would say yes, because that's what's going to continue making him the business that he has, you know, as a streamer and stuff. It definitely helps him out. As far as like the way that I do and starting out, I feel like it helps. I feel like variety streaming when you're starting helps, or at least look for the game that you want to build a community around. Don't oversaturated games, of course. Don't go that route. But I feel like variety streaming with me, it's good because I couldn't play the same game every day, day in and day out. Like, why would I want to when this beautiful, amazing hobby allows me to play all these amazing different type of experiences? You know, like I just went through this Steam sale for the summer sale earlier today, and I was looking at all these games that I've never even heard of before that were interesting to me. And I'm just like, man, you know, if I was stuck to one game as a streamer, or if I played just one game for long periods of time, I would never get to the back catalog that I currently have, for one, but also try all these other games. I just feel like the gaming is so amazing. Like, why limit yourself to just one game? Unless it's, of course, beneficial like it is to most of the streamers who are streaming like one game. I think they're definitely doing it in a smart sense, not in a, oh, I just want to stream this all the time sense, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it definitely, it's a business move. It really is. And I feel like a lot of people don't look at streaming business wise, but really it really is. If you look at some of these bigger people, they're not out there doing it for fun. They do it for a business. Like, that's what they make their living by.
Livelihood, yeah.
You know, exactly.
I think too many people are shy away from that, and I don't think people should. Like, streaming to everyone that's streaming is a hobby that they enjoy doing, but that they would also love to make a career. I think that's an honest way to put it. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I think it totally is.
If you had, and
that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. I think that's the best way to look at it, because if you're going to stream for the rest of your life for free, I mean, you're absolutely welcome to, if you're successful and everything. But that's a big time sink. Like, people put a lot of time into their streams, their panels, their content, all of that. So I mean, you know, it's nice to get some kind of feedback, kickback from your community and stuff. So I don't think people should shy away from that. But as far as the random thought, I do agree with you 100%. I think, you know, I don't know if Ninja is a great example, because he blew up from Fortnite. I was looking at his statistics because I was curious about kind of where he came from statistics wise, and I was going back and looking at his stuff, and sure enough, like when he started jumping on that train, and he was like the first bigger streamer to kind of get on it. He did blow up with it. I just kind of felt bad that he was getting treated like that by his community or people commenting. And it's like, man, one of these days he's got to leave this game. I mean, it's not going to stay popular forever, but I definitely don't feel like as a streamer, it's the wisest move to just stream one game, especially if you're starting out. Or if you build your community around it, by all means, you know, by all means. Yeah. I mean, if for someone like Ninja, even at this point, he's gotten so popular that at this point, even if he switches, he'll probably lose a chunk, but he's not going to become like poor or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
He ain't going hungry.
Yeah.
Shout out to him though, man. He's good.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, with someone like Shroud,
Shroud's
I think
a damn good guy too.
Yeah. Like he did really well. He started off with esports, and now Shroud has such a community that he can play whatever he wants and be a variety streamer if he wants, and people will still continue to watch him. Now, his community is definitely all like FPS / Battle Royale people, so I think he's going to continue playing that, and that's also what he enjoys. So in that sense, it's really good for him. But I agree, as a completely new streamer, no former fame, nothing like that, I don't think you can play just one game and be successful. Or you can, I'm sure you can, but it'll be a really long grind.
Yeah.
While variety streaming gives you a lot of options, one week you might be streaming something that one person likes, you get them in, they follow you. And at that point, as a variety streamer, you just have to become an entertainer in the sense of like, to make it about you and not about the game you're playing. And that's what people come back for is the interaction with you. So
yeah, which blows my mind that anybody walks into my channel.
Dude, you're a really likable guy. Come on. I think that's important as a variety streamer.
It really is, because you get to experience a lot of different games with your community, and you probably wouldn't get that if you were just streaming 1 or 2 games all the time. There's too many stories out there, man. I mean, like, we have a very beautiful thing in gaming. Like, you get taken away. I was thinking about it the other day. You literally get taken away to another experience. It's just, and VR's just now coming. Oh man, can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
5 years, it'll be all VR, dude.
It'll be crazy. VR Battle Royale.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be the next thing right there.
It'll be nuts.
Hunger Games style.
Right? I'll be like, dude, build in front of me, dude. Oh, Fortnite VR sucks. My build's so slow.
All right, kid. Well, I had a lot of fun, man. I hope you did as well.
I did too. Thank you guys again for inviting me here. I had an amazing time. Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, man. And if people want to reach out to you or check out your channel or your Twitter, how can they do that? Throw out some plugs.
All of the social media is KiddSisco TV. So at KiddSisco TV, the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me on all 3 of those that way.
On Chatterbait.
Yeah, I'm probably even on there. Drunk streaming still. I don't even know.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I'll get that all in the show notes so people can check you out. And other than that, any last thoughts?
I'm good.
No, not really. Just stay positive minded, people. Stay positive. I think one thing I'll pass along that's important is your situation is always temporary, man. You can always make a change for the better, make a change for the positive. Don't ever think you're stuck in the situation that you're in. If it's negative or if you're feeling down, it can change, man.
KiddSisco with the motivational message.
Little kid wisdom on the out.
little kid wisdom. All right, guys. Well, everyone have a good week. We will see you next week.
Laters.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, we would love to hear your feedback, which can be sent to coldonepodcast@gmail.com or leave a review of what you thought on iTunes. It really does help us make this experience better for you, the listener. If you would like more contact with us, you can follow us on social media. Just look for @Cold1Podcast on Twitter and Facebook. All this information can be found at our website, actionsperminute.net. You can also get a hold of us pretty much every day by joining the APM Network Discord, which is also on the website. And lastly, if you like what we do, tell your friends, your family, your enemies, and coworkers about it. Thanks, guys. And remember, don't drink and drive.